This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Jeremy Largo-Afonso. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing great, Angel. How are you doing yourself?
I'm excellent, my friend. I'm excellent. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. Tell me, what part of the world are you in right now?
So I live in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. So the city I live in is Mississauga.
All right. Well, do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
One of my great talents right now is the ability to connect with other students and help them out with professional development, which is why you connected with me.
Yeah, definitely. The LinkedIn connection, isn't it? Yeah?
Absolutely. Man.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell us more, please.
Yeah, so basically I've been doing a lot of networking on LinkedIn as of the last year since I've become a student leader at school. And I've been doing a lot of networking mainly because I found that the ability to help others has really been one of the biggest points of happiness for myself. And I've been able to really launch off that and build my own brand from there.
That's intriguing. Tell me more about your brand, please.
So my personal brand revolves around professional development, around students, and around being a lifelong learner. So basically, being able to help anyone develop skills at any age, and that's particularly why I co-host LinkedIn local events, and I've got another one coming up on March 26th, and it's going to talk about the future of leadership with diversity and authenticity.
So, where did you get this leadership skill from? Is it someone in your family, friends?
Probably my brother. So my brother has been a leader throughout my entire life, and because I never had a father growing up, he passed away very early on. I had my brother to look up to, and I used to always come to him for advice and leadership and guidance. And he's always been that one person who has been really pressing hard on me to make sure that I'm doing the best that my abilities can let me be, and be a really good voice for others.
By how many years is he older than you?
He's about 3.5 years older than me.
All right. You want to say his name?
Keenan Largo-Afonso.
Oh, there we go. Keenan. That's wonderful. Why will you continue to repeat this skill? The skill of leadership. Definitely there are challenges that go with this, right? You have to be on top of the game. You're the guy that has to arrive on time. You're the guy that has to make sure everyone has food to eat. There are the challenges, right? Why will you continue to repeat the skill of leadership nevertheless?
Not only because it's a really good trait to help out others with, but because I like to lead by example. And the example is me going out and helping others. So whenever I'd like to go out and do this, it gives me happiness, and I spread that with other people and make sure that they can see what I'm seeing at the same time, which is why every one of my events is tailored to students and industry professionals to make sure that everyone's gaining the same kind of a perspective that I have.
That's wonderful. It's really amazing to me, fascinating if you would, in terms of the offline presence that LinkedIn is beginning to take. And I think it's very powerful. I think people love offline a bit more than online, but I definitely see that online is the catalyst, however, to connecting others offline. What have you seen from your side?
From my side, I'm seeing exactly the same thing. Since this movement has started in the previous 2 years, we've seen a lot of progression in terms of how people interact offline, what are their core goals, and how they're able to implement all these things in their regular local community. The one thing I love about LinkedIn Local and how the Local X team has really come together to do this is just that they're able to seamlessly bring the same people online to an offline gathering and make sure that people can bring that ambience, people can bring that enthusiasm, people can bring that excitement into the same room with a whole bunch of like-minded individuals and be able to collaborate on a number of different topics and make sure to talk about how they can help each other out.
It's like you get laser focused, right?
Absolutely. You got it, Angel.
That's wonderful. Where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you, Jeremy?
Anyone can come and connect with me through LinkedIn. However, if they need to get a hold of me, ASAP, so my website is jeremy.largo-afonso.com, where they can just come send off a message if they need anything from me. If you need a collaboration, if you need to talk to me about future opportunities, come ahead and see me on that website.
That's wonderful. Well, Jay, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Work hard and make sure that I stay focused on my own path.
How does that
Because at
make
the
you
end of
feel?
the day, that makes me feel great, because at the end of the day, when you go ahead and you work on yourself and you stop being envious of others, you work on yourself through helping others, and that's one of the greatest gifts that I think has been bestowed upon me: the ability to build up my own personal brand while doing it in the social community. And that is one of the biggest parts of social entrepreneurship that I've been taught by very famous TED talker and also social entrepreneur himself, Manu Swish Goswami, who has done a lot in the community, in the tech entrepreneur community, for helping build others.
Amazing audience, you're hearing it live from G Lago, Jeremy Largo-Afonso. Jeremy, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me invite you now into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jeremy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is probably living in downtown Toronto, most likely just playing with other kids on the street. You know how it is. I'm pretty sure you've had some of those times yourself, just playing with other kids in the neighborhood, and it was probably ball hockey. I
Paul
th-
hockey. Oh, really?
yeah, I think I was around maybe um, 5 or 6 at the time.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think that memory is so clear because it reminded me of the time that everything was bliss. I was most likely, if you can believe it, probably a innocent, or just pretty cute little kid, and not really much worries in the world, just a carefree guy.
How do you see this memory connecting to who you are today?
I see this memory connecting to who I am right now, just because I still am that same kid on the inside, except now I have the goal to help out others, to share my vision of how people should be interacting, and just sharing that vision through LinkedIn now.
I love it. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Please go ahead.
I love the gathering that's surrounding a goal. So the team is there and it's specific, just like we said. The online platform has created for the offline community that laser focus. We're gathering, but there are rules and there's a goal that we want to achieve, and helping
Absolutely.
others win means that we win. I just love that entire energy that you then carry over now into life, being the leader again in the LinkedIn local world, and so much other more that I envision. I'm guessing that you, in fact, I envision that you will be doing all surrounding. Let's have fun, but definitely let's win.
Absolutely, yeah. Because a team win is a win for everyone, right?
I totally agree. I totally agree. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song was probably "Temperature" by Sean Paul. I
Sean
love that.
Paul. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Caribbean in the house.
absolutely. I used to bump those tracks all the time. Those were some of my favorite songs to listen to, because my brother would always walk around the house with his music player, and then when he was gone, I'd just go snatch his music player and then listen to some of the songs. So that was one of my favorite songs.
Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Jeremy?
Let's do it.
Jeremy, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Not yet, but hoping to soon.
Are you married?
No, I'm not yet.
Do you have children?
Yeah, not yet, my friend.
Do you believe in God?
I am a believer. Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, I do have a very close circle of friends.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Regrettably, yes. Some days I
Right.
do.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Probably a little bit less than 8 hours a day. I work in front of a computer all day.
All right, all right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Jeremy Largo-Afonso, what would you say that is?
Work hard today so you can relax tomorrow.
Love it. Gee, this was such a great pleasure. Ooh, before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I love to tell everyone out there that just remember, when you help others, you build yourself up as well.
Gee, you're on path. You know, Zig Ziglar says it best. Help enough other people get what they want, and you will get what you want. Jeremy Largo-Afonso, thank you, my friend. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Absolutely. No, that's it, my friend. So thank you so much for having me. I loved being on your podcast today.
Yeah, great pleasure having you, my friend. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.